Hello all and welcome to my channel. It seems like now everyone is struggling in this economy, whether it's the cost of living, rent being so high, groceries being so high, gas being so high, everything is just extremely high. And this is putting a lot of people in a very tough choice. And the choice they're having is whether to have kids or not. There was recently this viral TikTok video I want to share with you guys that's extremely hilarious, but this is real. But before I get there, guys, please hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and with your help, I will certainly get there. All right, now let's get to this funny viral video.
Why aren't people having kids anymore? Because no one has a spare $300,000. It's the same reason I haven't bought a sapphire mine recently. It's just a tad too expensive. I don't want to spend money on a kid. I freeze my bread to make it last longer. I'm cheap. Look, it's not even a joke. It's just a good tip. I don't even spend the fake money I earn in video games. Here's a better question. Why did the people who had kids before choose to make it feel impossible to have kids now? And how can they help fix that? The closest I'm gonna get to having kids is rewatching the first season of Stranger Things. But who's gonna take care of you when you're old? I don't know. Probably an AI android with a voice just different enough from Scarlett Johansson's for it to be legal.
Okay, that video is extremely funny. I mean, basically saying he doesn't even spend money that he makes on a video game. That's funny. But I want to tell you right now, there's a lot of truth in behind what he's saying. And I want to break it down because listen, guys, it's been on the all-time low. The birth and fertility rate has gone down in the lowest it's been in 40 years. So this is a real conversation and a real decision that a lot of people are making during these times. And of course, it makes sense, right? We're talking about how high the cost of rent is. Right now, currently the household rent is nearly like $2,000 and the household median is like $75. And I did a video earlier where it was explaining, even if you make what they consider the household median in certain states, if you deal with the average cost of groceries, the average cost of utilities, and the average cost of a vehicle and all these things, it's still not enough and people are struggling. So of course, that puts you in a position to have this conversation of whether having a kid or not, because there's so many things that change in your life. Listen, I have kids and I love kids. And I'm gonna tell you from experience, it is very difficult. And they're only mentioning the financial aspect of it, but it's not only about finances. It's about just giving up your life to take care of a kid. It is by far the hardest thing I've ever done in my life because you expect your kid to be just like you, to be this great kid and they do exactly what you say, and that's not the case. Everyone has their own personalities and kids, they do have a personality. Now there's plenty of reasons why a lot of couples are not having kids. Number one, it's work. A lot of people are just not getting paid enough and their job doesn't even allow them the time to stay home and take care of the kid. If you have a two-income household, guys, you're gonna take a hit if somebody goes down for a bit. Some people can't even save $500 a month. I read somewhere that it was nearly 50% of the population cannot save $500 and like 60 to 65% cannot save $1,000 in an emergency. A kid is ridiculously expensive. You wanna know what it's like? Just have a roommate living in your house, eating, using all your utilities, doing all the things in your house that you would do and make them pay nothing. It's a good chance you probably kick their ass out. So having a kid will put an economic strain on a lot of people. And it seems like a lot of Gen Zs and millennials are recognizing, listen, the cost of having a kid is way too expensive. He said in the video $300,000 and I had to do research and look that up. He was quite right. He's actually within the middle. It can get a little higher, but it depends how much you spoil your kids. Now, a lot of people, let's be quite honest, are really independent and they do not want to sacrifice their career over the kid. Because unfortunately, right now, the way things are in corporate America, the only way to move up is if you just give up all your life and you dedicate your life to that company. And to some people, that is their main goal. They got to where they got today, and the level they reached was because they sacrificed so much. And they're not willing to give all that up, all that money and their lifestyle in order to have a child. And another big reason, which a lot of people are not discussing, is due to the fact of a lot of people work in gig economies. And don't get me wrong, gig economies is an awesome thing to do, especially as a side hustle. But a lot of people actually have that as their primary source of income. With that being said, you get paid whenever you do that gig. And if you're not doing that gig, you don't get paid. And you also get no insurance. You can't take PTO. You can't take paternity and maternity leave. There's none of those things that you can do. So can you imagine a couple that's doing the gig economy and then you have a child it's going to be extremely difficult, and you're going to have to be working gig economy hours, which if you do Uber, late night is usually when you get the surge prices, you make all that money. How are you going to have all this time to spend with your kid? So listen, I know it's really difficult conversation for a lot of people to have, because a lot of people do want to have kids. Okay, they just do. They really want to have kids, but it is seriously a conversation that you need to have. Now, this whole video is not saying how you just want to avoid having kids. You could have kids, but you have to have a conversation and be real and understand there's things you're going to forego in your life in order to raise a kid. Okay, you can't be going on those random vacations as you used to. Now, if you save up and you make all this money, by all means, yes, you can. But the majority of society cannot do that, cannot just continually go on vacation and do all the things that they did independently now that they have a kid. There's some things you're gonna have to give up, and you need to remember and know exactly what those things are. Now, there's something that's interesting when it comes to having kids, and someone asked me this question and they did not have kids, and they were asking other people as well, and they recognized there was a pattern in people's answer, which is asking us, why do you want to have kids? No one can answer that question, can you? I really couldn't answer that question. My answer to that was, well, because I wanted to. That's it. I knew it was difficult. I knew all the challenges I would have to go through, and I still just wanted a kid. So I just got a kid. Well, me and my wife decided to have a kid. I mean, I can't have kids. I mean, I can have kids, but I don't get pregnant. She does. You know what I mean? With that being said, we decided to have kids, and we don't really know why. It's one of those things that we have no reason why we do it. Everything else in life we could explain. Hey, why'd you buy a house? Oh, because I wanted to have the space. I saved, I put a down payment down. Or I just got tired of renting. I don't want to deal with landlords. So I saved up, got a house, and now I'm happy. Makes sense. It's logical. Can you afford the payment? Yes, it makes sense. A lot of things in life you could explain and justify, but having a kid is really hard. It's a really hard thing to justify exactly why, and something that makes sense to why you want to have a kid. And it's interesting now that these Gen Zs and these young millennials are coming to this point of recognizing, listen, society, all they're doing is just having kids and is acting like that's okay. And if I don't have a kid, people will question me, especially the ladies. People continually ask, why you have no kids? 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 Oh Lord, you keep on getting asked why you have no kids, and you feel the pressure to have kids. In reality though, if you look at a lot of us parents, we are just one tantrum away from just going, guys. And most of us, you see walking around with Starbucks because that's the only way we'll be able to survive and get through the day. So guys, let me know, do you have kids or do you don't have kids? And let me know the reasons why you have kids or you don't. And if you do have kids, what advice you have for someone who doesn't have kids and are thinking about having kids. Catch you guys in my next video. Peace.